down at Occupy Wall Street tonight. Their parents are bringing their children down there, and it made me contemplate my own parents and everything they did for me. And I just want to take this moment, and you'll have to forgive me, Cliff, because it's Casual Friday. I'm going to break format a little bit. I just want to take this opportunity to thank my parents for the opportunity I have to do this show, to basically do everything, because back in 1967, we moved to Worcester, Massachusetts, I guess it was 67, 68, to escape the pogroms that were taking place in Russia at the time. The Tsar was targeting Jewish families, and my parents moved me to Worcester, Massachusetts to make sure that I had the opportunity that was not available to them. And so they left their shtetl and moved us safely, all of us, to Worcester, Massachusetts. I just need to take that opportunity.
You know what I find amazing about that story, Sam?
What's that?
First of all, obviously, that your family, before they left, were still able to fill out most of the extra roles in Fiddler on the Roof. And they did a great job.
That's right, actually, yes. Shortly thereafter, I believe there was a play. Or maybe it was before or after we moved. But based on...
The other thing... Oh, yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
No, please.
Well, I was saying also I find it impressive that it took them about 60 years to get here.
60 years? No, I don't think so. They were actually coming from New York. It would have taken probably about 3.5 hours at that time.
Would they have a time machine where they were able to go forward from when the pogroms were actually taking place in the shtetl, around 1905 or so? Or
wait a second.
Am I
the shtetl, the pogroms took place in 1905. Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke. Look, I don't walk around, Cliff, with documents in my hand as to when the pogroms took place. I think they were escaping the Nazis. My parents were escaping the Nazis in 1967 or 68, somewhere. I don't know when it was. When we moved, probably possible. 68. Probably 68. I think it was actually 68. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. I'm not lying about anything. I'm just saying in 1968 is when they came escaping the Nazis. I think Kristallnacht happened, and we moved to Worcester, Massachusetts.
Again, Sam, the genius that you are, and that 1 year of law school I know did do you a hell of a lot of good. But a little bit off in the time, 45, 44, or 67, it would have been a 23-year or so, 22-year journey for your parents.
I think you'll find that Kristallnacht actually happened earlier than that. I think it was closer to. I think it was like in 39. Was Kristallnacht. I'm not. So it
looks like I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. But I thought you just meant the general atmosphere of World War II.
You know what it was?
I even screwed up my joke, Sam, because of my ignorance.
Let me just amend what I had said earlier, because I don't walk around with papers telling me when my parents travel. They were escaping.
But you know what might have happened?
They were escaping high taxes in New York, and so they went to Worcester, Massachusetts, to Taxachusetts.
We know how that goes. You want to escape the taxes. I was going to say maybe they actually just ran into Eichmann in Buenos Aires.
I got news for you. Kristallnacht, 1938. No, of course, ladies. I've been fibbing, folks. I got my story confused with Marco Rubio's story, if that's even his name.
And I want to be clear here, folks, that I do enjoy joking around with Sam. But and by the way, I am incredibly stupid. But I was actually thinking more of World War II. To have people think I don't know when Kristallnacht happened would upset me.
I didn't know when it was. We should update people on this story, because I think this is an unbelievable story on so many different levels. Marco Rubio has been saying in public since essentially he's been in public. In fact, the Washington Post has this blockbuster story written by a guy who's been working on his biography, on Marco Rubio's biography, and came across all sorts of documents that have put to lie the narrative that Marco Rubio has been presenting to Floridians and I guess the nation. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it is on his website. I mean, it's on his Senate official biography. The second sentence of his official biography in the Senate says that his parents, Mario and Orales Rubio, came to America following Fidel Castro's takeover. Now, Fidel Castro came to power in
1959, right?
In 59.
I'm gonna have to show people the whole rest of the show that I actually know some things now.
Right, exactly. Well, he came to power in 59.
Happened in like 2012.
Now, understand, in 1959, when Fidel Castro came to power, people in Cuba, there was not a mass exodus at that point because there was still an assumption by the elite in Cuba that this guy there was no real belief that he was going to nationalize
going to be that
everything.
Radical. In fact, Sam, it's important to note that many people have argued that it was our CIA, and this has no connection to anything we do today, by the way. None at all. It was just back then. But it was our CIA who just immediately assumed he was on the opposite side of things and even pushed him. By targeting him, he needed a sponsor, and that ended up becoming the Soviet Union because obviously he needs somebody to get his back. And that the truth is that he may not have been that revolutionary. We may have pushed him into that corner.
Right.
And that's been made by historians, by scholars, that argument.
Right.
So let's be clear.
And that would be even more relevant if it wasn't for the fact that it appears that Marco Rubio's parents showed up in the United States, left Cuba in 1956. So the idea that they were fleeing Castro, who I believe in 1956 was living in New York. Now, I may have my dates a little bit off, but I don't even believe that he was in Cuba at that time.
Well, no, I think actually, as part of their project to build up the oil wells in the Soviet Union, the Koch brothers had sent them over there to work on some of those projects.
Yes.
To help, if I'm correct. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but
So, I mean, this is unbelievable. Rubio, so that's his official biography on the Senate website.